up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Black Crow Kennel TV. And just to let you know, it's been a little while since we did a video. It's been a ton of stuff going on, and it ain't all been good. So that's one of the reasons I just hadn't really felt like doing one here lately. Hadn't taken the hadn't had the gumption to do it, because there's a lot of stuff going on, like I said, and it's gonna be some no, some don't. It just is what it is. Last month, back in August, because we're dealing with September now. But last month in August, started talking to one of the folks who had bought a puppy out of one of our last litters, and they were no longer able to keep that puppy. He was a male, and no fault of his own, no physical issues or health issues or anything like that. Owner just wasn't able to keep him anymore, and he had to, give him back, or we went back up and got him. They were from Virginia, so we made arrangements to make our way to Virginia. I'm going to point that up a little bit. Don't know if it's going to make any difference or not, but a little bit of different angles today. Anyway, long story short, no fault of his own. Owner just couldn't keep him anymore. We made arrangements to go up to Virginia, pick him up, and bring him back home. So had to wait a few days for everybody's schedules to line up and things like that. But August 16th, we made our way up to Virginia, and met with the owner, picked up the pup, did what little bit of paperwork we needed to do at that point in time, and started making our way back toward home, South Carolina. Excuse me. On the way home, somewhere around the Virginia-North Carolina line, the van, I got Bluetooth or whatever in it, and it was hooked up to my phone. Van notified me I had text message, and so I had my phone in a compartment in the console, and I grabbed it and started looking at it, and my mom had actually called Andrea, who was with me. Andrea was telling me I needed to pull over, and anyway, I checked my phone, and my mom had texted me that my dad had passed away. I don't want to sound heartless. I don't want to sound like a complete asshole, even though I am an asshole, and I got it honest. Let's just say that. Me and my dad never really got along when I was younger. I've always been the black sheep in my family, imagine that. And it just it is what it is. And but before my dad, my dad was diagnosed with by doctors, which I'm still not quite sure of that diagnosis. But anyway, He was diagnosed with dementia several years ago. But before that, before he was diagnosed with dementia, when he was still in his right mind, me and him have made peace, and actually had a pretty decent relationship. So we're both hard-headed, and both of us were assholes, and we both thought we were right. So I mean, of course, there was arguments, and there was always going to be some tension between us. But we did make peace, and we did have a better relationship toward the end. And it just kind of upsetting that we finally got to the point where we could talk, laugh, cut up, and then something like something takes them away from you. So anyway, kind of one of them bittersweet type deals. Wish could have had a better relationship the whole time, but it is what it is. Anyway, long story short, got back home, got everybody settled back in, and over the next couple of days there was a lot of little stuff. We had a funeral and things like that. So I mean, then on the 21st of August, we had a visitor. Hung around for about 10 days. COVID. The pandemic arrived at the kennel. I had thought that I had a sinus infection for a few days. Took all the precautions just in case I was, contagious, and just to make everybody else feel a little bit better. I wore a mask and did everything I was not necessarily required to do. Make everybody else feel a little bit better. But classic symptoms of a sinus infection, which I have usually in the spring and usually in the fall. So I did not go to the doctor, but on the 21st of August, I got up, getting ready to go to work, and when I woke up that morning, I had an eye irritation, and there was no way I could put in my contacts. Well, folks, if I ain't got in my contacts, I can't see. Even with glasses, my vision is not where it needs to be for me to perform daily activities the way I should be able to do, like read a computer screen, which is what I do. I have to read a computer screen. I work in parts and accessories and things like that. So I have to be able to look up a vehicle. I have to be able to look up, what it is, and what fits it. And unfortunately, with my glasses on, I can't do that. I can drive and I can get around, but I don't see well. I really, I'm fine to drive, but I'm not going to try to drive a 18-wheeler when I'm got my glasses on, because I can't see the back. Okay? It's just a little fuzzy way back there. So anyway, tell my wife, hey, we need to go. I need to go see if I can get something for my eyes. 'Cause I had clear eyes and things like that, and it's not touching it. So we ride to next town over and go to the urgent care. And the lady asked, have you had any symptoms? I said, ma'am, feel like I had a sinus infection, and I'm getting over. let's go ahead and swab you. To which I should have said no, but I didn't. And I tested positive. And after, we were put on quarantine for 10 days, me, my wife, my daughter. My daughter tested 5 days later. She tested negative and was able to return back to school a few days after that. I finished out my 10 days. Took another test on like the 9th day. I did go back and take another rapid test. I was still testing positive. Then I went back and took another test on September 2nd, and I'm still testing positive. And I can't return to work until after I get a negative test. I've had several people tell me what type of test I need to take, and I'm going to take one of those. But anyway, long story short, there's a possibility that I could test positive for 90 days. Some folks have, so it is what it is. Just is what it is. We are where we are, and hopefully we're coming out of it. But anyway, after all that, we were planning to have a cookout barbecue for all the owners and puppies that we had run through, and that didn't pan out because we were going to do it Labor Day weekend, and we were going to be just coming off quarantine. Didn't really want to, called everybody and told them, and everybody understood. We ended up canceling that. Just brought Buddha home, like I said, on the 16th of last month. We've already got a plan for him to go to another home. It's going to be real close by, where we can kind of keep up with him a little bit better. But anyway, long story short, he's going to stay in South Carolina, and basically a little something out of him later on. We'll just see how he turns out. He's black and white male, 6 months old, weighs 70 pounds. He's a hoss, and he's a gentle little giant. Let's put it like that. He's actually a little bit bigger. Frame-wise, him and Johnny are real close. He's actually got a little broader head and a little broader, thicker body, but he is a little bit overweight too, so he's got a little bit of fat instead of muscle like Johnny's got, so it's a little different, but a little, real similar dogs. Got more white on him than Johnny does. So he may be somebody you see something out of in the future. It's going to be one of those type situations. He's already been to the vet. He's in good health and everything. Everything's fine with him. It was just owner couldn't keep him. We did have a female that we've been keeping with Johnny, and her name was Phoebe. And she just recently, this past weekend, some folks that bought a puppy out of the last litter, which was her same litter, they had purchased Bill. They live down in Hilton Head. They actually, contacted us, they loved Bill so much they decided they wanted a second to grow up with Bill. So they ended up taking Phoebe, and they came up and brought Bill with them this past weekend to pick Phoebe up, and which they have renamed her. I think it was, I'm drawing a blank because they named her one thing and then they decided to change it again. But anyway, I think Delilah is what they ended up staying with. But anyway, long story short, she's in Hilton Head living it up with her sister Bill. And, they came up and spent some time with us and visited with Abel and Kane and Zara and, Johnny and all those. And we visited with Bill, and, Phoebe took right to them. So everything worked out great there. You know, we're gonna probably be looking at. We may end up with a litter of Bostons this year, but they probably won't be ready to go until next year. And we'll probably end up with Nick's and Abel part 3, probably starting in December, but of course it'll be probably a March, April type deal as far as, or May, before everything's said and done. So yeah, we'll see how things are going there and see what happens there. But probably not going to have any more litters this year. We'll finish out the year, and we'll roll on to next year. And hey, you know, next year might be the banner year. Who knows? Folks, appreciate y'all watching. Keep us in your thoughts and prayers. And we'll see you on the next episode of Black Crow Kennel TV. Y'all keep them straight out there.